Today on Church and State, top 10 reasons you should just give up your guns.
And the latest in the Maricopa County reveal. The reveal is coming. Looks like Arizona audit is still got more hinky information.
Plus, D.C. mayor urges refund the police. Hello, Christian Patriots, and welcome to Church and State, where we strive to plug you into the pew and plug you into politics. I'm your host, Caleb Collier. I'm going to say it. And with me, as always, Pastor Gabe Blomgren, because you're always there in spirit.
Yeah, I am. Always, probably hurts when I'm not here. What do you say when I'm not here? And with me?
Nope. You know what I started doing?
Just
you're going to hate it. I say, and I'm your host, Caleb Collier.
There you go. That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
I don't hate it.
You don't hate that?
Yeah.
No? I just completely cut you out of it. Done.
That's all right, man.
Dead to me. I did a lot of state shows.
Yes.
All right. Hey, Babylon Bee, phenomenal, right? Always, of course, Babylon Bee is just a wonderful resource for us for having a little bit of humor as we get through the headlines of the day, right? So, top 10 reasons you should just turn your guns over to the government today, Gabe. I'm going to start with number one, okay? Well, actually, hold on. If you have guns in your house, shame on you, Gabe.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Right?
Why would you?
Why would you do that? I mean, you can
People
just
who
call
have guns,
911 and the police will be there.
Cops will have your back.
Yeah.
In a good, solid, 9 to 10 minutes. In your case, probably a half an hour.
Plus,
how fast would it take the cops to get to your place?
Probably a while, yeah. But here's the thing, though. If somebody breaks into your house, you should probably just ask them if they'd like to come in and sit down, and you can make them some tea, and you can discuss, what America did to them, the systemic racism that is in America, what that did to them.
Why would you even be
here? Like, can I help you out? Hey, I've got 3 televisions. Maybe I don't need one. Let me help you load this into your car.
Exactly.
Right?
So let's find out. Number one.
Right. Government is very trustworthy and would never hurt anyone. I mean, that's pretty obvious, Gabe. I mean, throughout history, when you look, right, and you look at nations like Russia and China and North Korea, the government is always benevolent, right? I mean, every time.
Absolutely. Yeah, they always do the right thing. They always.
You can take that to the bank, Gabe.
Every time.
There is 2 things in life that are sure, right? Death and benevolent government.
They're safe.
Absolutely.
You're safe. Number 2, with your gun safe empty, you now have a neat place to hide when robbers break in.
Oh, it's like a panic room.
It is.
That's a great idea.
There's not a lot of air in there, so don't stand very long.
Yeah, if you've got more than one person, it might be an issue as well. So instead of shooting clays on Thanksgiving, that's not a good idea.
Clay pigeons.
Yeah, clay pigeons, right?
Yeah, clay pigeons, not clay.
It says clays. On Thanksgiving, you can play great games with your family like Monopoly. Oh,
that's fun.
That's a bang-up idea because Monopoly brings families together.
I usually end up winning only because I'm the most
After you've made your family cry.
No, it's just
Monopoly makes people cry.
It's too long.
No, Monopoly is brutal. People will literally get in fist fights over Monopoly.
I'd much rather play Risk personally. But number 4, the government needs your guns so that they can shoot people trying to sell loose cigarettes.
Yeah,
that tax stamp on the back there. You can't sell them individually.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you've got to make sure the government gets all of the tax money that they are due. And this is a real problem in America today, is people selling single cigarettes. And these are going for really like $20 a stick. I mean, a huge problem here. So obviously, we need to send the government our guns so that they can go after these robbers. They're robber barons, really.
That's right. You got number 5?
Sure, yeah. You can spend the time you used to spend at the gun range educating yourself. Ooh. If you're better educated, you're going to be less problematic. You're not going to be a concern. So, yeah, I completely agree. You can go to more of these public indoctrination centers and become a liberal. And then guns won't even be an issue for you.
Number 6, the government will donate your guns to a noble cause, like drug cartels and insurgents in the Middle East.
They would never. They would never do so. Did we not just establish that government is benevolent?
Yeah, they are. Do you remember back in the day? This was hilarious. This was when there was fighting in Afghanistan. There ended up being somehow at a government auction, some construction company's Toyota pickup ended up to be an Afghani like Al-Qaeda fighter that somehow the government from the United States, this was back when we had McCain hooking everyone up with guns and trucks and stuff on the bad guy side. So some contractor sees his own logo in Afghanistan on a CNN. So his own work truck got donated.
That's great. I love that. Yeah.
Thank you, government.
So yeah, but
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, no, there's no history of
The
this.
CIA didn't think to
Contras.
scrub
No,
the side of
yeah,
that Toyota pickup.
No, not at all. They couldn't be
Brilliant.
bothered with that. Are you kidding
Brilliant.
me? They're trying to rule the world.
Yeah.
They don't
Number
have time to paint things like that. All right. You can rest assured knowing that criminals will turn in their guns too.
Oh.
That's absolutely true
that's
because
true.
criminals always do the right thing, Gabe.
Well, if we get our guns taken away, everyone will be safe because then the criminals won't be able to get them.
That's true. Where would they find a gun?
Where they're criminals, they only know how to do law-abiding things.
Absolutely. All right. Go with number eight.
Number 8. Now you can defend your home with a cool spiked mace and broadsword.
Well, I want to do that anyway.
Well, who says we don't?
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
good point, right? Let's just,
Go full Legolas and Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings style.
Yeah. I want an axe.
Okay, number 9, you got it.
Yeah, you'll be a rich man not having to buy ammo. Oh, that's a good point.
True.
Ammo is very expensive these days. I'm sure all of you have paid a lot of money for ammo these days. And so just imagine you can just get rid of that. I mean, Dave Ramsey, what does he say, right? You got to get rid of those unnecessary purchases.
Like ammo.
And ammo, there you go. You're a rich man right now.
Number 10, and lastly, drum roll.
Yes.
What is the worst that could happen?
There's so many scenarios going through my mind here right now. The worst that could happen? Oh, maybe totalitarian government that you don't have the ability to defend yourself from anymore. That could be the worst that could happen.
Yeah. Of course, this is satire.
Yes.
And this is brought to you also by armslist.com. That's a free shout out right there. Go get armed.
Obviously, they should probably pay us for, promoting them.
Yeah, maybe. What I like is just a little example. We had a crazy guy decide to shoot up a bunch of Chinese prostitutes, and then, of course, the administration was freaking out over Asian violence. So the response of the Asian community was not fear and then self-pity. You know what they did?
They bought guns.
They bought guns.
Yeah.
Good for them.
This is what they did in,
Buy guns.
Yeah, during the Rodney King riots in L.A., right? You just had all those Asians that were up on their roofs protecting their buildings. Yeah, absolutely. They get it.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
It was awesome.
In the hood, everybody dude, the guns came out and they were protecting their businesses.
Sure. And that's what it's going to take, when
America.
When you have, mass riots, when you have Antifa and BLM outside of your door, where do they pause? Even that family, right? That rich suburban family that came out with guns when BLM was right on their property, right? They stopped them. 2 people with guns stopped them. Remember those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
They stopped them right there. That's all it takes. Yeah. So
there was a T-shirt this company made of the 2 of them.
Yeah.
She's got this big old huge Colt 45 pistol.
He's got the AR.
Yeah. Yeah,
was great.
It was a great T-shirt.
All right, so we got a tsunami warning canceled, but more important than this, 8.2 offshore earthquake. This is off of Alaska's coast, and it sent the community, running for higher ground. The story is not so important, Gabe, but what we wanted to address with this is being prepared, right?
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, the U.S. Geological Service, they've just released also, for some reason, they decided to say that there is a huge amount of volcanic activity right now between all of the tectonic plates that we have on our west coast, and also it's weird. We're in a drought right now, and the USGS decided, hey, I want to let everyone know in America that all of our volcanoes are extremely active right now. So I don't know if that's legitimate or if it's just they're trying to hype up fear. Either way, this 8.2 earthquake actually happened. Now it's out in the ocean, right off of the Bering Strait. So this did happen. So we know that the earth is doing something. So I just say be prepared. And I say to all of you Christians, you should have already been prepared. Some of the most on top of it Mormon families that I've ever met, they already culturally have been prepared. I just say Christians are so all fly away, oh glory. I think we just give up on being prepared, and that's sad. You need to be prepared.
Absolutely.
I've told you numerous times about the virgins and their oils.
Yeah.
Oil vats were full. So that's all throughout Scripture. Joseph making one of the biggest grain storage facilities in Egypt ever. They found it. They actually found his underground
That's incredible.
Massive place to store grain. You can look it up. Preparedness is all throughout the word. So don't be flying by the seat of your pants. These are warnings from the Lord. He said we would know the times and seasons. Catch this. He said, you see the changing of the tree. You see the leaves changing. The Lord said we would know as Christians when things were happening. Didn't mean we all just packed up our bags. It means you're prepared.
Yeah. No, I mean, regardless, whether it's civil unrest, whether it's droughts and forest fires, earthquakes, whatever it is, well, you got to be prepared for something like that. Fortune favors the prepared. We've talked about this so many times that during the Great Depression, it was the people that had prepared, that had canned food. Those were the ones that fared better than those that actually were relying on the government. Because the government is going to fail you. I'm telling you right now. And when you're looking in stores, Gabe, I don't know if you've been noticing this. Some things are getting a little bit hard to find.
Yeah. And so we're talking about the revealing or the unveiling of what's happening. And we're talking about this as an earthquake, as a natural unveiling of what's happening. We have some other stories that are going to talk about. There's some masks that are coming off in politics to where something's coming. We talked about it. We don't have the video clip of it, but Joe Biden, I just got to say it one more time, not to make fun of him, but he publicly came out and said, my butt's been wiped.
Oh yeah, that's right. You wanted to bring that up again, and I think Travis has got the audio clip. But we might as here's the thing: we should play this as long as it takes, because the American public
can't happen, but nobody's giving up in Arizona. They're pressing forward. So we have all over the place these kind of like rumblings and shakings.
Yeah. So Travis, you got that clip? No, he doesn't have that clip. Never mind. Okay, well,
I'll just pretend right now I'm Joe Biden. He basically comes up with Air Force One in the background. You can hear the sound of a jet. Comes up to, I want you to do me a favor. You say immigration. Say immigration.
Immigration.
Twice. Say it again.
Immigration.
My butt's been wiped.
Yeah, with a smile.
Smile on his face.
Smile on his face. Yeah.
And then he shakes a couple hands and walks away.
Yeah.
Just walks away.
Just done.
Doesn't address immigration.
No.
Another person says masks. Masks.
Yeah.
Nope. My butt's been wiped.
Nope. He's good to go.
So he's off the rails.
Yeah. He really is. All right.
He's off the rails.
Hey, Gabe, you remember when all the Democrats in all these cities wanted to defund the police?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. And
that was the talking point.
Now, if you listen to Jen Psaki, it was actually the Republicans who wanted to defund the police.
Those darn Republicans.
I know, they're always doing things like that. But no.
It was not their idea. I just want to clarify, we're being sarcastic, but it was not the Republicans' idea to defund the police.
But everybody knows that. That's.
But people are stupid enough to forget.
Have we really reached that 1984 point? You think so?
Yes.
Where the government can just say, we've always been at war with this nation. We've never been at war with that nation. And the people will just, yeah.
About 100+ deaths a weekend.
Yeah, right, exactly. So right now they've directed the MPD this is the Metropolitan Police Department, to use as much overtime as necessary to meet our public safety demands. Yeah, well, guess what? When you defund the police, when you don't have a police department to respond to some of these violent crimes, guess what's going to happen? The criminals know they have a free-for-all. And then on top of that, when you don't actually prosecute, when these individuals, even if they are caught, they're just catch and release. You maybe spend a couple hours and boom, you're right back out on the street.
And then we also have in these communities, whether it's Chicago, Washington, D.C., these are not fresh and rested police officers.
No,
there's
tired.
George Floyd murals all over the walls. They drive by neighborhoods where they're threatened. So they absolutely, man, firefighters were always the guy to be, and it's always been an inside joke that everyone loves firefighters, hates policemen. It's even worse. It's worse than ever. But she says refund the police.
Yeah, refund the police. And here's the thing, like in Washington State, the police are no longer going to be able to respond to a large volume of these calls because of the new law that's been passed, right? So they can't go chasing after somebody if they're running from them. And so a lot of these calls, Gabe, and I know you can testify to this, as an EMT, a lot of times we get a call for a suicidal male or something like this. The police would meet us actually the police would go before us. We'd park a block away or something, and they'd go clear the scene.
Right.
That's no longer a possibility here now. So now firefighters and EMTs are going to have to go into a house with somebody who has called 911 saying, I have a gun and I'm going to kill myself.
Right.
Right. That could be easily turned on EMS and firefighters.
You and I know what's actually going to happen if an EMS wagon shows up. Do you know what's going to happen? Yeah. They're going to sit and wait.
Yeah.
They won't go in there.
Why? Would you want to?
No.
Without a gun, and you're going into a dangerous situation.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't want to go into that. So lives are going to be lost.
At least as a firefighter, you might have a water hose.
Yeah, that's true.
Fire
you could knock somebody out. Yeah,
know.
I don't know. But still, this is, it's all part of the symptom, right? They wanted to bring about chaos, and through chaos, they bring in their order and this refund the police, and ultimately it's going to result in a nationalized police force.
I love it. From her words, she explicitly says that last year's defunding movement has negatively affected DC's police. You think so?
Yeah. I'll take obvious things for 1,000, Alex.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, come on. You kidding me? Defunding the police is going to make your city unsafe? I never would have predicted that, Gabe. Never could have seen that in a million years.
Mm-hmm. Identity politics. It doesn't work.
No. All right. Hey, Justice Department, because here's another great bureaucratic agency that just does a bang-up job, don't they, Gabe?
They do great.
Yeah, they are now launching a new effort to crack down on firearms trafficking. Oh, and guess what, Gabe? All those cities that you mentioned, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, D.C., okay? Yeah, they're the ones that are significant gun trafficking corridors. That's according to this strike force that is. And now you're telling me that they are significant gun trafficking corridors? Oh, shocking. Chicago, for example, Gabe, we did a show, I believe you were on that, where the officers were I think they numbered about 13,000. And the gang members in Chicago were 113,000.
Wow. And they're saying that they're going to start somehow, I don't explain to me, Caleb, they're going to start targeting where the guns are originating, where they're used in violent crime, and then going after the entire network.
You know what? You want me to translate this for you?
Go.
It's pretty easy, okay? Gun shows. Because it's gun show loopholes. That's where the criminals are going. They're going to gun shows, and they're buying these firearms. They don't have to even produce an ID, and then they're taking this out, and they're engaging in violent crime. That's the narrative of the left.
Yeah, that's what they're going to say.
That's the White House, yes. The reality is that's not true at all.
No.
You've been to gun shows. I've been to gun shows. I've bought guns at gun shows. No, there's a process. You still got to go through it all.
You still got to give your license.
Absolutely. So where are they getting these guns from?
Background check. You still have to show that guy your license, and they keep your stuff on record.
Yeah, you know where they're getting these guns, right?
They're stolen.
That's a small percentage.
Yeah, illegally
Mexico
taken from the border.
Mexico. Okay, Now wait a minute. Now the border's wide open, isn't it? No, Donald Trump was a racist for closing the borders.
Right.
Even during a pandemic, a supposed pandemic, it was racist to close the borders. The borders are wide open right now.
They're wide open. They just closed 2 contracts that they had with 2 different contractors to secure the wall, and that's all been shut down.
Yeah, so the firearms are coming through Mexico. The virus, if you're terrified of that, is coming through Mexico.
Yeah.
But no, that's not at all what they're going to target here. No. They're going to use this to go after law-abiding citizens.
Right.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to try to shut down, gun stores. They're going to try to shut down manufacturers. They're going to try to shut down the ability to get any type of ammunition.
Yeah. And we saw back a while ago that there was Barrett 50 cals that were they did the serials and found out that these guns were coming from the CIA and 3-letter agencies. And so it's not only criminal over the border, somehow our guns, our departments, we're losing track of our firearms.
Mm-hmm. Of course we are. The government can't keep track of anything, Gabe.
But they're going to send in a strike force.
They're gonna create another bureaucratic agency to come after your firearms.
And I agree with you. You're going to hear that the firearms are being acquired at gun shows.
Yeah,
That's
always
one they've
their
been aiming
narrative.
for. That's the one they've been aiming for.
Yep, exactly. So, hey, let's get into the audit because I think this is the one that excites you the most. Arizona audit, all right? The analysis continues. They're not, so the officials are not, they're refusing to submit the vital information, but it's been leaked out. And so here's what we know so far, Gabe. There's a lot in here, all right? Listen to this, okay? They have envelopes with unverifiable signatures, more than 10,000 voters registered after Election Day, and a staggering 74,000 mail-in ballots with no evidence of ever being sent.
Huge irregularities.
This is huge, and here's why. How much did Biden win over Trump on this one? Do you remember the exact number?
Small percentage.
It was a small, and I think, okay, here it is. Biden prevailed in the state of Arizona by a mere 10,457 votes. So the very fact that you have 74,000 mail-in ballots with no evidence of ever being sent, this could flip.
Right.
And what does that do, Gabe? What does that do for this nation? Okay, if you decertify the election off of this, and other states will follow suit on this, what does that do for our country? Like,
it's an avalanche of potential for other states now.
Well, it is, but I mean, so you decertify the election. As a nation, we decertify the election. Joe Biden is not the president of the United States. Kamala Harris is not the vice president of the United States. Does that just...
I think what we'll see is a national emergency.
Is that a powder keg? I mean...
Yeah, I think what we'll have a national emergency. There will be some type of... Is there any... I'm asking the Constitution guy, is there any type of legislation written into this type of event?
No, because this is unprecedented.
Election?
I mean, honestly, no. They've never seen anything like this.
Who becomes the guy to hold the authority?
Well, I mean, if you decertify the entire election, it'd have to go to the Speaker of the House. So you'd have Nancy Pelosi.
She'd be our interim president.
Yeah, she would be. Yeah, as far as I understand the Constitution, yes, she is third in command.
I have two statements.
Okay.
Good morning.
Yes.
Sunday morning.
I remember that was a great clip as well. She's obviously not in charge of her mental.
Something's up.
Exactly.
She's either full-time drunk or something's not up.
Yeah,
something's not up to snuff.
But then afterwards, I mean, you'd have to give it to the one who actually won, and you would see Donald Trump and Mike Pence reemerge as president and vice president. Now, not a lot of patriots are going to be very happy with Pence coming back into the White House.
So later on, read this under the 10th Amendment. It says, because they're curious, is the decertification coming? It says under the 10th Amendment, as long as the House and Senate work together, and the way this is all being presented is looking very much like a joint resolution coming from both House and Senate. As long as we come together as one body and a resolution is passed, it's resolved. The decertification, doesn't call for an action by the governor or the Secretary of State.
Yeah, I mean, the 10th Amendment is very specific, right? The power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution or prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. So, right?
They say this too. This is cool because you're all about enumerated state power. It says just because there's no rule for decertification in place doesn't mean the states cannot use their enumerated powers to decertify or reclaim electors.
Yeah, and that's the Ninth Amendment playing into this one as well. So yeah, you don't need the governor. You need the representatives, the legislative body of Arizona, to decertify these election results, and that will be the catalyst to Pennsylvania, Georgia, all of these contested states to take the same action here. And I'm telling you, I mean, we already said on last show that Joe Biden doesn't have more than a couple months left in him.
Yeah, which I still stand by that.
This would take longer than that, but it would then get rid of at least Kamala Harris. Now, the other question to ask, Gabe, is since Joe Biden was not a valid president, would everything that he signed into law be invalid?
That's a great question. That's like trying to stop a 18-wheeler that he's never driven after he's bailed out of it.
I would say yes. I would say that everything that he signs, every executive order that he has been a part of, because he was not a legitimate president, that those are invalid.
I just don't feel like that's going to happen. I feel like what they've done has to keep going, at least in their heads.
Well, they're attempting to try that.
Here's a statement. If that's really coming down the pike for them, they're going to have to do something really drastic to make sure normalcy never hits.
Yeah, you're right. And there you go, crisis solution, right? So I wanted to bring something up to you. I found this to be very interesting, Gabe. The thought occurred to me late at night. So Joe Biden, I believe the first time he ran for president was in 1988. Mm-hmm. So Biden has wanted this for a very long time. He finally achieves his lifetime goal of becoming president of the United States, and
he's too senile.
God wipes his brain.
Yeah.
God wipes his brain. He can't even enjoy it.
No, he's not even really probably enjoying it.
No, because he has no idea what's going on. Is that not
People
justice
are wiping
right
his
there?
butt for him.
Yeah. That's justice right there. So regardless of whether or not this occurs.
He looks during a press conference and looks at his handler and says, "Can I say that?"
Yeah, he does. He has no idea what's going on. He's licking his wife's finger. The guy's completely bonkers. But I find that to be justice. But regardless, Biden's out. I guarantee you, Biden is out. But regardless, we need to be contacting Arizona representatives and demanding that they decertify.
Toe the line. The evidence is there.
It is.
Do you want to know where I was during election day?
Where?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Were you?
Yeah. I felt this demonic presence.
Oh, that's right. I remember this.
The night I went to sleep after the whole, we couldn't tell who the president was. I went to sleep with him having the lead. I woke up the next morning and I was just like, Lord, there's something not right here.
Yeah, I was at an election party and same thing. Yeah.
I was in Maricopa County.
Wow, that's amazing. But yeah, we all went to bed. We all thought, all right, that's the end of it. It's going to go to Trump. It's obvious. And then things would go bump in the night, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened there, exactly. So, yeah. Lies. So, hey, last 30 seconds, Gabe. Great to have you back.
Good to be back.
I need you to continue to be back. The shows are just better.
Do you feel less angry?
I feel less angry. I feel calm. But no, it's better material. You and I are a team, like
Batman and Robin.
Sure. Who's Batman? Nobody wants to be Robin. That's the problem. Yeah. All right. So, hey, show's over, buddy. Thanks again. We'll see you soon. All right. Church and State is sponsored in part by On Fire Ministries. Always remember, the tree of liberty is most likely a birch. And with that, Church and State is out.
God bless.